All right, I want to go over a couple things on today's project with design tips and tricks. First thing I want you to do is take a look at this layout. Basically, you've got your simple turnout L-shaped with a Lazy Susan. Then it comes out and becomes an outside double miter sink base. And a lot of people have questions about how to draw this, but there's also even more questions about how to lay it out when you get in the field. So let's go back here and take a look. We've already set these three cabinets, which is your Lazy Susans, your drawer bases. All those are set and level. The very next thing you have is the dishwasher opening. That's the, going back to the drawing, dishwasher opening. So what we do is we take three pieces of 24.5 inch long, 3/4 by 3/4 stock. We put two on the wall on the back, one at the front. This one, of course, will be removed when they do the countertop, but these two in the back stay. You nail those onto the wall with some silicone, that way everything stays while you're working. Then you go ahead and put this piece in the front, and that keeps the 9-inch cabinet square to the front edge. Now, a lot of designers will take this dishwasher and they'll slide it all the way to the corner, right up against the sink base. And you can see why that would be a problem, because you can't stand in front of the sink then and actually load the dishwasher. So a 9-inch cabinet, in this case it's a 9-inch drawer, but a 9-inch cabinet is what we need to do the interior with to make sure that the dishwasher door will come down and have room to stand in front of the sink base and make that work. So to begin the process, like I said, three 24.5 inch sticks up against whatever your cabinet size is going to be that turns the corner. Now, in this case, it's a 9, but it could be a 12 or a 15, anything like that. It could be as little as a 6-inch panel if needed to be, but you don't want to go less than 6 inches on the return. Now, the next thing you need to turn any corner and not have any problems is an 1.5 inch by 1.5 inch filler. So let's go down here to the floor. We've got a tile floor here today. So we're coming off the wall with sheetrock. We're measuring 24 inches deep. That's this first line right here. That sets up a baseline from the sheetrock to determine where the face frame is. Everything you do here is going to work off of the face frames of the cabinets. Nothing about the toe kick, nothing else about paneling or anything like that, just the face frames of the cabinets. So you're going to pull 24 inches right on through. Then you're going to come from here 24 inches out. You're going to mark out the thickness of this cabinet off that end cabinet there, that plus an 1.5 inch filler. Then we have another 1.5 inch filler that goes in this direction at 45. You'll need to use a triangle. We use just a large 12-inch triangle to lay out the 45-degree angle. Then after we come out of that corner with a 45-degree angle, we come across, this is the 30-inch sink base. Well, remember, this is an 1.5 inch filler here. That's an 1.5 inch filler there by an 1.5 inch filler here. So that's 33 inches. From that point to that point is 33. The center line of that is 16.5. So we take our T-square and we actually use the T-square to pull that center line back to the back of the cabinet. The back of the T-square has a 24-inch mark, so we mark that back there. We slide that T-square along this line and come across the back here to 24 inches and make a mark. We slide it along this line and come back to here and make a mark. We make a straight line through those marks. That defines the back of the cabinet. That also defines where the corners of the paneling are going to come to. So this is actually the end of the cabinet, but your paneling is going to come to this point. Now we come back to the front again. This is where we come off with the sink base line. 1.5 inch filler, 1.5 inch filler. We're going to turn that again 90 to the face, which is 45 to the face of the sink base. And you're going to put your base 12 mark with an 1.5 inch filler. And you see we're actually staying pretty straight with the lines of the room. So we know we're keeping our angles pretty good here whenever we're looking at that. Now, again, this was because we had a tile floor that we were able to lay this out. If this had been a wooden floor, you would have to take some white regular masking tape, lay down some 2-inch white masking tape on the floor, and use those masking tape marks as actual markings to be able to figure out where everything goes. The other reason I'm showing you this is how you get your center line cuts for all of your plumbing. So we know where the beginning of the sink base is, we know where the center of the sink base is, we know where the face frame of the sink base is, and we know we can measure from the face frame back to each one of these pipes. I would discourage you from measuring from the back mark forward, because every time you lay down a line and you change an angle, you increase your amount of errors that you're making. There's slight errors, but there's small errors every time you lay down a line. So anytime you can measure from a line that was further back, some of the more ones you did first, you're going to get a better, more accurate layout to the center lines of where all your holes need to be. But from this point, we're looking at 1.5 inch filler. This is the edge of my frame. There's the center of my sink base. From the face frame of my sink base, I can measure back now. From the center, I can measure over to each one of the center lines, and I'll know where to cut the holes at for this piece of furniture to go in, that sink base to go in. Now, the reason I also do this is twofold. I do it once for me to be able to know where my layout needs to go, but the other thing is I need to show my customer before I do all this and cut all this where the end of my cabinet's going to be and measure from here to there to make sure it makes sense. Let's just say you went in and you went by the plan, and the plan said 3-inch filler, 3-inch filler, 3-inch filler, 3-inch filler. Well, that's 12 inches worth of filler, okay? 4 3-inch fillers, 12 inches worth of filler. That's gonna push you out further, push you out again, turn the angle and push you out again. If you did 3 or 4 3-inch fillers, by the time you get here, you're gonna be less than 3 feet of space. If you had laid it out on the floor first, you would have known that, and you could have went back and incrementally changed your fillers to smaller fillers. Again, this is very hard to understand from a design point. It's even harder for an installer to understand sometimes about how to lay these out and get the spacing you need, as well as get nice uniform filler sizes on the fronts of your returns. If you have other questions for me, you want to give me a call, it's 423-650-1051. Thanks again for watching.